Alright, you guys, welcome back to the videos of Sweet Muscular Justice. We are actually doing a fun little group today that I like to call the intertubercular groove muscles. So a fun way to remember this, you have your pectoralis major, your latissimus dorsi, and then your teres major. So a fun little, I don't know if it's called like anagram or something. I say two majors and a miss. Basically just explaining there's two majors, pectoralis major and teres major and latissimus dorsi. So we're going to color those really quick and I'll show you exactly where they're located. I'm going to start with the PEC Major. I'm going to use this orange-red color. So the PEC Major is actually going to start. Okay, so we have, remember we have our origin and our insertion. We want to make sure, whoa, you guys can't even see that. It's like the camera is all jiggly. Sorry about that, guys. So we have origin and insertion. Your insertion, let's start with the origin actually, sorry. Origin, for your PEC major, or your pectoralis major, your origin is going to be the inferior medial clavicle. Okay. And the sternum, manubrium body, and costal cartilage of ribs 1 through 7. So, sternum, and all the way down through the sternum. It's attaching along through the cartilage on the ribs. Basically, this is going to be your origin, and then your insertion is going to be over here, along this ridge here, and that is going to be your intertubercular groove of the humerus. You can see where that's located right here, your intertubercular groove, and that's where this muscle is attaching or inserting into. So I'll outline this for you guys. This whole big muscle. By all means, do as much coloring as you need. But origin would be, I'll repeat that for you. It's going to be the inferior medial clavicle, and it's going to be the sternum, as well as some of that rib cartilage right there. So, and then it inserts into the intertubercular groove, thusly called the intertubercular groove muscles. Moving on to the latissimus dorsi. What we have here is this giant, big muscle that is pretty prominent in bodybuilders. It's like creates that wing shape. Okay. Obviously, it comes across here as well. It's just showing you one side. Okay. So we know the insertion is going to be the intertubercular groove. So it's going to be on this side, but it's going underneath the arm and attaching into that intertubercular groove. But we need to know the origin. The origin is the spinous processes of T7 to T12 and L1 to S5. So let's say T7 to T12 and L1 to S5. And it's going to attach via the thoracolumbar fascia, which is this big, vast sheet of fascia all across the back of the lower, well, I guess the lower section of the back. There's this big section of fascia, which is basically just like a sheet of connective tissue. And then you have origination on this iliac crest here. So it's good to know that it originates, basically you can say T7 through T12 and L1 through S5 through this thoracolumbar fascia. Thoracolumbar fascia. You can break that word down. Oh my gosh, I'm shaking the camera again. Thoraco or thoracic, and then lumbar, So these two sections of your body. Fascia is just that dense connective tissue. And then it inserts into that intertubercular groove. So that's the Latissimus dorsi. The last muscle we're going to talk about in this group is the teres major. And that is going to, we know it inserts into this intertubercular groove, but the origin is the inferior angle and the lateral margin of the scapula. So we know the inferior angle is down here, and this lateral margin is here on the scapula. This is where your muscle of the teres major is going to originate. It's going to cross in front of the arm and attach at that intertubercular groove. So that's a quick selection of muscles that I wanted to talk about in this video. I call it my intertubercular groove muscles. Remember, 2 majors and a miss: pectoralis, latissimus, and teres. So pretty important. The reason why we call it intertubercular groove, obviously, is because they all insert into the intertubercular groove on the humerus. So just remember those things, and you will be good.